Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Katie. In this video I'm going to be doing another pick from my kit or shop my stash. In this one I'm going to do a best of version. So basically it's the same sort of thing as a normal pick from my kit. I'm going through all of my makeup collection, but I'm going to pick the product that is my favourite out of each category. So I'll pick my favourite foundation, my favourite eyebrow gel, from all of the products that are currently in my makeup drawers. So the only things that are excluded are things that I've tried in August or September, because that's just what's at my desk that I'm sitting at the moment. So this is the makeup that I try to use like pretty much every day, just because I'm trying to review it for my August-September makeup recap, which will be out at the end of October. I'm also going to do a worst of pick from my kit, so same concept, except instead of picking out my favourite product from each category, I'm going to pick out my least favourite product from each category, and I haven't thought about that at all yet, so I don't know. I'm not sure how that's going to go because I've not really thought it through, like what specific products I'm going to pick, so we'll probably just be coming up with that on the spot, whereas I feel like I thought through the favourite products like a bit more, like I kind of already knew what I was going to reach for before I went into my drawers. Whereas with my worst one, I'm really not sure what I'm going to be reaching for. Anyway, I'm going to cut to me going through my makeup drawers and then doing the makeup look now. So I guess we'll just do this in the regular makeup order, so like primer, foundation, concealer, powder. So these are all the primers I've got. I've not got loads of primers. I'm not like massively into primers, like I just, if I had to pick a favourite bronzer out of all I've got in here though, NYX Honey Dew Me Up I quite like. The Technic Strobe Effects Cream I really like, is like a glowy base. I used to really like this one, the 17 Skin Wow Freeway Highlighter. Again, it's like a glowy primer. This is really old now, but I used to really like this. It's like super duper glowy. It's actually really nice. The Fix and Rouge ones I quite like as well, but sometimes I find that they can like affect the kind of texture of the base products that I put over the top of them. Sometimes, not always. My favourites would be probably either the Technic Strobe Cream, the NYX Honey Dew Me Up, or maybe, yeah, even the 17 Skin Wow. Actually, I take that back, I completely forgot about this guy, the Barry Soft Focus Glowmance Primer. I think I might go with this one actually. A thing I like about this one is it has radiance, but it's like not too overkill. It doesn't look like you've just smothered like glitter or smothered oil on your face. It's just like a really nice bit of like inner kind of glow within sort of stuff on your face. So I think I might actually go with this one for my favourite primer. I feel like, yeah, out of everything in this drawer, this probably, if I had to just keep one primer, I feel like this is probably the one that I would go for. Again, the ones I've just shouted out, the NYX one, the 17 one, and the Technic Strobe Effects Cream, I think will be like my kind of runners up, but everything else in here I feel like I could just definitely like live without. So foundation drawer, immediately what springs to mind as my favourite foundation in these drawers is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. I absolutely love this. I'm so glad that I bought it. I tried this earlier in the year, I think it was like April time that I used it, and like when I first used it I was like, I mean it's nice enough, but I'm not blown away. But it's just sort of foundation that really grows on you, like the more you use it, especially after seeing how well it wore. It wears incredibly well. It doesn't look too heavy or too cakey. It's very skin-like, but it does have some decent coverage as well. Another like favourite would be the Maybelline Superstay. I feel like where the L'Oreal one like excels with like finish and with how it looks on the skin, the Maybelline one I think it doesn't look as nice on the skin, but I feel like this one definitely has better coverage. Like this is like a low full coverage in my opinion. The only issue I really have with this is that it can look a little bit heavy on the skin, but I do still consider this to be like a favourite. I really like it. It also wears really well. These are like definitely two of my favourite drugstore foundations. The MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation is another foundation I really like. It's got really nice coverage. It lasts pretty well. Wet n Wild Photo Focus. I've not used this in a while, but I remember really liking it the times that I have used it. I think I am just going to stick with the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear because, like, realistically, it's my favourite foundation of everything in this drawer. And what's ridiculous about that is that, like, there are high-end foundations in this drawer that I generally just don't think are as good formula as this. One issue I do have with this though is that it's like a tiny bit dark, so I do need to put like a little bit of white mixer in, and I'm pretty sure it's a light shade. What is the shade? The freaking writing's worn off. It's like 15 Porcelain something 015 porcelain. My favourite white mixes, definitely these Gosh Mix and Fix drops, as well as, I've not used this in a while, but I used to really like this, the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD foundation, but obviously it's the white one. That's a really good white mixer, as well as the Nip and Fab one. I really like that one. I think I'm just going to stick with my Gosh one though. Okay, concealers. I've got loads of concealers that I really like. NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer is definitely one that I really like. The e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I love this. I think it's great. I really like this Too Faced one. It's in the shade Snow, I think. No, Swan. It's a tiny bit dark for me. It works fine around my face, but just like under my eyes, I feel like I'd prefer a lighter shade. They did add a few lighter shades though, so if I were to rebuy this, I'd buy a lighter shade. This is definitely a favourite. I really like this. The Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. Absolutely love this. Definitely a contender. The Tarte Creaseless Concealer. Also love that. I've got loads of concealers I generally really like in here. In terms of drugstore, the Collection Lasting Perfection and the Barry M All Night Long are two of my favourites from the drugstore, as well as the e.l.f. one that I've already mentioned. I think I'm going to stick with my e.l.f. and my Jouer concealer. The Jouer one is like a tiny bit dark for me, whereas the e.l.f. one's like a bit lighter than my skin. So like mixed together, they're kind of like a perfect shade, but I think I'm going to go with these two. Yeah, there was a lot of honourable mentions there because I've got loads of concealers I really like. Okay, powders. These two Belle ones are definitely contenders. So I've got the Belle Hypoallergenic Fixing Matte Powder, it's a translucent one. But I bought this one as well, like this year, like a few months ago. It's the Perfectionist Powder. It has like quite a glowy finish to it. It is actually quite nice, but I think I do prefer the just straight up translucent one. So that's definitely a contender. This one I discovered this year. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Magic Loose Powder. This is one of my favourites. There's not even a lot of product left in this. Hopefully I can get some out. I really like this early in the year. I still like it. I find that even like the best setting powders will occasionally separate under my eyes. Like this does it occasionally, but not very often. I definitely really like this powder. The issue I do have with it though is that it can make my highlighter not show up as nicely. Sometimes it does it quite badly, other times it still shows up quite nicely. I don't really know how that works. I think what I'll do is I'll use both of these just because I'm not even sure how much is actually left in here. But then I'll use this one like in the eye area and then this one to set my face, but those would definitely be two of my favourite powders. Bronzers again is a thing I have loads of favourites for. This Laura Geller one I really like. It's called the Beach Matte Baked Hydrating Bronzer in Siesta Medium. This was in a cohorted beauty box, so if I'd picked it I would have gone with the lighter shade, but the shade still works. Like it still shows up like not too harsh on my pale skin. That is one I really like. Also, I used to be obsessed with these, the Vita Liberata Luxury Tan, like I think they're called the Bronzing Minerals. These are really cool. I really like those. This Belle Hypoallergenic Bronzer is one of my favourites, as well as the MUA one. Love the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. Amazing. This Milani one that I tried recently, also really like. I've got so many bronzers in here that I love. This is going to be hard to pick like my ultimate favourite. The Body Shop one, amazing. I used to really like this Makeup Revolution one. It's called the Summer of Love Triple Baked Bronzer. That's an old school favourite there. Well, I need to narrow this down. What should I go for? What is my ultimate favourite? I feel like I'm inclined to go for the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. I do really like this. It is lovely. Oh, another one I forgot to mention, the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder. It's a setting powder, but it's in the shade, I think it's Golden Beige, and it works really well as a bronzer in my skin tone. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with the Milk Chocolate Soleil, even though there are other bronzers in here that I think are like equally as good. It's just like there's so many to choose from. Like I've just very fortunate in terms of bronzer I am. See, that's the thing, I feel like a lot of pale people complain about not having a lot of bronzer options, but I feel like just based on the fact that I've pointed out so many favourites, there definitely is a lot of pale skin bronzer options out there. I definitely think it's way more difficult if you've got really like deep skin. Whereas there's sometimes like, yeah, there are definitely some lines of bronzer that don't go pale enough, but I feel like overall there is definitely a lot of options out there. But yeah, I'm going to stick with the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, but all of those ones I mentioned are also really good. I don't really wear blush that often, but one that springs to mind is a really nice blush if I am going to use one, is this one that I got in a cohorted beauty box. It's from Ciate London. Shades Into Deep. I can't remember what the actual product's called because it's not written on here. It's like called an illuminating blush or an illuminating highlighter, but that's what it looks like. It's super stunning. This is really pretty because it's got a bit of glow in it. But yeah, I feel like if it came to picking like a blush out of all the ones I've got over here, I'd definitely probably go for that one. Okay, now we need to pick a favourite highlighter, and oh my god, there is so many, again, that I can choose from. This is why I feel like I need to stop buying so much. It's always nice when you just have things that you can reach for. The BH Cosmetics Blacklight palette, I absolutely love this. This is like blinding, stunning, and it's not too expensive either. But if I want like a more subdued natural highlight, I wouldn't go for this. But oh my god, this is so pigmented, so that's definitely a contender. See, the ABH Moonchild is nice, but I honestly wouldn't consider it a favourite. This Revolution Pro Trio, oh my god, these are so nice. They're pigmented and they have such a like buttery, creamy texture to them, but they are powders, so they're also definitely a contender. Wet n Wild Mega Glow, beautiful, love that. Oh my god, this is my Broken Ofra highlighter that I bought like 2 years ago. It's the glazed donut one, and I used to love this, but I broke it like a few months after I got it, and I'm not really sure how to fix it, but I did used to love that. I really should just throw this away if I'm not going to figure out how to fix it. Belle Hypoallergenic one, I've actually hit pan on that. Gorgeous highlighter. It's very pigmented, shows up well, but it's not like too overkill. It doesn't look really heavy or like textured on the skin. My favourite like super natural options though is the Revolution Pro, are they called skin finishes? Yeah, Luminescence. This is like also really nice if you want like a highlighter that's not like, that just looks very second skin like and isn't too like glittery or pigmented. Milani Afterglow, also a contender. Pop Beauty highlighter, a contender. I really like the Too Faced Diamond Glow highlighter as well. I've got so many amazing highlights here. The Technic Get Gorgeous ones are like incredibly pigmented and like just, they look so beautiful, but again they're very like, they're heavy, they're noticeable highlighters, so I know not everyone likes that look. I like it sometimes, but not always. Should I go for something super blinding or should I go for a more natural one? I feel like I should go for a more blinding one just because of what I said about that L'Oreal powder affecting my highlights, so I feel like I should go for something intense. I think I might go for the Revolution Pro, you know, because honestly, this is an incredible highlighter for not too much money. Should I go for the BH Cosmetics one? Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm going to go for the BH Cosmetics one just because I feel like this is more underrated and like people need to talk about this more because I don't see a lot of discussion about it and I think it's incredible. Obviously, I feel like this is more of a pale skin like sort of palette, but I know they do have a few other colour versions of this palette, like they have some more bronzy ones, so other skin tones can try this formula. But yeah, love these shades. Okay, so we're going to move on to eyebrows. So I've got all pencils here and then all gels here. So in terms of gels, what immediately springs to mind as my favourites would be, first of all, the Benefit Give Me Brows I think are really good. I've got two, one's in 5, one's in 3. 5 is a better shade for me, but I just have a 3 because it came in a makeup kit that my sister got me for Christmas last year. It's still a usable colour, I just prefer the number 5, but honestly I think these are really good brow gels. It's just a shame that they're so expensive. However, I think my favourite brow gel, in fact I'm like 100% sure actually, my favourite brow gel is the e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel. I think it's in the shade like neutral brown, something like that, or dark brown, I don't know. So cheap and it's literally amazing. This is like the best brow gel ever. I would definitely put it up there with the Benefit Give Me Brow. I think if you want to try the formula of the Give Me Brow but you're reluctant to spend that much money, I would try this e.l.f. one because I think it's really good and really comparable. I used to be a big fan of this one from New Look, but I think it may be discontinued, but it's a similar sort of style of brow gel. I'll go with e.l.f. just for the reasons I said. It's more affordable, and honestly, I don't think it's any worse quality than Gimme Brow. In fact, it could even be better quality, so this is definitely my favourite brow gel. In terms of brow pencil, there's a lot of micro brow pencils in here I really like. This BH Cosmetics Duo Brow Pencil, one of my favourites. I really like the Nabla Brow Define. I tried that recently, along with the Max Factor Brow Shaper, which is also another really good one. And also the e.l.f. Brow Pencil, the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, is another one I really like. I found it really hard to distinguish between all of those ones I've just mentioned, so I feel like I should just pick some random. I'll go with the Max Factor Brow Shaper, I think. This is a really decent micro brow pencil. So I'm gonna go with the Max Factor. Okay, in terms of mascara, I need something that's not dried up, but I also really like. I think this one should be fine because I've used it recently, but it's the Michelin Intense Volume Mascara. This is a really good one that I've tried in the last few months. I really like this. It's got a lot of volume and it's super affordable. My actual like all-time favourite mascara right now is the Collection Last Surge one, but that's in my rotation drawer and it's also pretty much empty now because I use it so much and it doesn't last the longest. I used to really like the L'Oreal Telescopic, but I think this is dried up now. I really just need to get rid of like the majority of these mascaras in here because they're dried up. The e.l.f. Keep Your Curl mascara is another one I really like. Yeah, I think I'm just going to default have to go with the Michelin one because there's, first of all, I think there's still some moisture left in it. Yeah, my favourite mascaras that I've tried, definitely the Collection Last Surge. Most of the L'Oreal ones, the Unlimited one, the Lash Paradise one, the Telescopic one I've just showed you. Someone the pink lid, like Baby Doll. I remember trying that like quite a while ago and really liking it, as well as the Miss Manga one. I don't know if they still make that. So a black eyeliner for the waterline. What do we want here? So the Maybelline Tattoo Liner is one I found recently that I really like. It's pigmented, it stays on your eyes. Now this is a super cheap eyeliner that I bought off of Amazon and it was like £1.99 and I honestly thought it was incredible. It's like of the same quality of the Maybelline one. Sharpened well, super creamy, super pigmented, and it stayed on like all day. I think it's discontinued. The last time I looked it had like been removed from Amazon. A brand's like called like Eye Magic or something. So I might use that one, but obviously I know it's annoying because you can't buy it or anything. But I generally really like that. Another favourite would have to be the Sleek Waterliner in Zodiac Black. Again, it's just another really creamy, pigmented, long-lasting eye pencil. So yeah, these are definitely my top three in here. Maybelline Tattoo, Sleek Waterliner, and then the cheap one that I bought off of Amazon. Like all three of these are like super affordable. I feel like a black eyeliner is just the sort of thing that I wouldn't want to spend my money on. Like there are certain products that I would buy high end and certain products that I just don't see the point of. I think black liners is one of them. Like why would I need to buy like a black liner that's £20 when I can just use these? I think I'm just going to stick with the Maybelline one. See, I go back and forth about how into liquid liners I am. But the best ones I have in here would definitely be the Bourjois ones. So it's the Bourjois Liner Feature Ultra Black Felt Tip. So I have the regular version and then the slim version. I think both of them work really well. I think I'll just stick with the regular one. Alright, now I need to pick an eyeshadow palette, which again could be difficult. I used this in my first pick from my kit video, but this one off of Amazon, it's like called the Twilight Dust palette. It's a You Can Be. It's like a Huda Beauty dupe ripoff. That's one of my favorites. Tammy's palette's definitely one of my favorites. I really like that. This is another one that I got off of Amazon from Beauty Glaze. It's the Strelitzia palette. Super cheap, but the eyeshadow quality is so good. I really like this one. The Juvia's Place Saharan palette is definitely one of my favorites as well. I think this is just like the sort of, this is just like a solid eyeshadow palette to reach for. You just need like a basic eyeshadow look, but then you can also do something a bit more fun with it as well. Even hit pan on that shade. So yeah, this is definitely a contender. I really like this one. The Revolution Shook palette is definitely a contender as well. Love that. Lottie London Living My Best Life, one of my favourites, as well as the e.l.f. 18 Hit Wonders palette. Really good quality, I really like that. Really old school, but the Revolution Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. This is like one of my first palettes. I've had this for years, but I generally think like for a smoky autumnal look, this is just so solid. Like this is just amazing, so that's also a contender. Of course, Soph's palette, I love that as well. 70K Full Spectrum palette, I've had this for a while now. I also really like that for colourful looks. I'm actually going to go with the Neutrals versus Neutrals just because it's been so long. It's been so long since I've used it, and it's just such a solid, good quality eyeshadow palette, and I think it needs some more love. I'm pretty sure you can still buy this. I have seen it on Revolution in recent times. In fact, it might be quite discounted now. If you see that online for like a discounted price, I'd definitely recommend giving it a go. So I'm gonna go old school and go with this guy. Okay, so now I need a lip product. This is definitely probably my most used lip product. It's the Kiko Sparkling Holiday lipstick. Sparkling Holiday matte lipstick in the shade 01. This is just like my go-to nude bullet lip. It's just so creamy, so opaque. This is just like my favourite lipstick to reach for, really. Unfortunately, this was part of a limited edition range, so no one can buy it, which is irritating. See, there's not really a lot of lip products that are just standing out to me. Lip products to me, I never get that excited about them because I just prefer to wear a nude bullet on a regular basis. I quite like the Makeup Revolution matte lipstick, as well as the NYX Suedes, they're quite good too. If I was going to go for like a liquid lipstick, one of my favourites is this one from Barry M. It's the Barry M Matte Me Up. It's a chocolatey coloured one. I think the shade is called So Chic, but I remember this having like a really nice formula, but I don't really want to go for a dark brown lip. I know it's discontinued and that's annoying, but I kind of just want to wear this because this is like my go-to lipstick. So I'm going to go with the Kiko one. And I think that's everything. Okay, so we've got all of our best of makeup products. So now I need to make this face more appealing because it looks gross right now. So I'm using the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. There's not a lot of product left in this bottle. I'm gonna prime my eyelids with this. I'm gonna use the Brow Powder to set the concealer in place. For eyeshadow, I'm going to do one eye off camera and then come back and do the other on the other eye. Okay, so I'm back. It's a pretty basic look, but I'm quite happy with it. We're going in with the Revolution Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. I started with this burnt orangey matte shade here, and that's just going all through the crease. Then I'm going in with the deep red matte shade here, and that's just going beneath what I've put on already. Then we're going to smoke this up using this matte, very deep brown with a bit of a reddy tone to it. And that's going in the outer third and like also sort of connecting into the crease. I don't really know how to explain what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to cut the crease with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer just about halfway. Blending the dark matte shade into where I've cut the crease and hoping for the best. I'm using the Lilac-y Shimmer shade in the cut crease. I'm using this matte cream shade under my brow bone. Okay, that will do for my eyeshadow. I think it's going to look better once like the rest of my makeup's all done. Now I'm going to use the Bourjois liner feature and just hopefully do a straightforward wing. For whatever reason, that took me really long to do. It's like my hands are just, I don't know, they just don't want to do things. Actually, that's okay. I don't think we've fucked that up too much. So, hey, there you go. Next, I'm going to use the Maybelline Tattoo Eyeliner in my top and bottom waterlines. Now I'm going to use the Michelin Intense Volume Mascara. Yeah, it's still got some moisture in it. And then we'll do my top lashes with this. Okay, so that's the eyes done. So let's move on to the base. So we're going in with the Barry M Glowmance Primer, and I'm just going to pop this on all over my face. It's like a sort of butterscotch kind of colour, but like it doesn't tint your face or anything. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't really do anything in terms of longevity of foundation, but I don't think it's really meant to. It's just like a nice bit of, you know, glow on the face, and I think I might put a bit too much on. yeah, it just gives like a nice little bit of radiance to the skin, but it's just like not too much. It's not like I've got like blobs of glitter on my face or I look really oily or anything. It's just like a nice bit of dew under foundation. So I'm going to get a mix of my favourite foundation, the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear, and I'm going to add a few bits of the Gosh Mix and Fix drops. Like the colour's not like massively off or anything, like it's in the right sort of area. I just feel like it needs a tiny bit of help. Okay, there we go, that'll do. It also smells really nice, like it smells it just smells like really like fresh and just like appealing. I would say it's probably more of a summer sort of foundation, but I mean you definitely could use it in the winter. Like the formula's fine for it, it's just, I feel like when I smell it, it kind of makes me think of a summer foundation, but obviously I'm going to be using it now that it's autumn winter time. So I've still got like 2 more foundations that I'm going to try this year, so we shall see if anything tops this one, but as of now this is the front runner for favourite foundations of 2019. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer under my eyes, and then I'm going to use the Jouer just like on out parts of my mouth. I've still got this blemish scar here, it just does not want to go away. It's been like weeks now. Yeah, this e.l.f. one, I think the shade is Fair Warm, which I think is either the lightest or the second lightest shade. It's the lightest warm shade anyway, but it is paler than me, which is hard to find, and it has banging coverage. But it's not super dry either, which is great because I find that a lot of concealers that are really good coverage tend to be quite dry in formula, like the L'Oreal Infallible one for example. I know loads of people really like that, but for me I just found that way too drying under the eyes. Whereas this one, like, I just feel like it doesn't look horrible or crepey, it just covers like amazingly, like it has such good coverage considering it's like, what, like £5? Ridiculous. Like just look at how like much that just brightens up that area. It's just ridiculous. It's like my go-to under eye concealer for sure. I just don't understand how this is so good for like such an affordable price. I definitely feel like e.l.f. is just really like becoming like a favourite brand for me. Like when they did that full face of e.l.f. I found so many like amazing products. Like it's heavy, like I know a lot of people criticise this because it's quite like heavy, but I feel like I've had heavier, like I've had concealers that are also like this heavy but have like settled into my lines and just gotten really crepey under my eyes, like a lot more than this one does. I don't feel like it does it. I feel like it blends out really nicely. Like, yeah, it does sit in my lines, but literally all concealers do. And it doesn't go really dry or weird. I just love it. And then I'm just going to pop a bit of the Jouer on, which again, the colour is a tiny bit deep for me. But there's only one shade lighter in it. It's called Snow. But it's like described as being pink toned, which I am not. And the thing is, I would buy this concealer again because I really like the formula. But, I would say that the e.l.f. concealer is like a dupe for this though. I really could just do with a shade that's as pale as snow but is either neutral or warm toned. So, setting powder. I'm hoping that there is some product left in this L'Oreal Infallible loose powder. So I'm going to just set my under eyes with the L'Oreal powder, and then I'll just use the Bell one all around my face. I'm getting it on this pointed sponge which I've been using lately and it's working quite well. Although I've not tried it with this powder, so hopefully that works out. I'm going to tap out these creases and set the under eyes. Okay, now I'm getting a brush and I'm going to set the rest of my face with the Bell powder. Okay, so I'm going to use the Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer by Too Faced. Like every time you open it, it's just like so nice. That smell. So I'm just going to bronze up my face with this. I quite like to put in blush on after highlight, so I'm going to do my highlight first. BH Cosmetics palette. What shade? I'm just going to be basic and use the white silvery shade here. It's called Strobe. As I said, like the L'Oreal powder can sometimes like affect my highlight, like how blinding it is. So I'm hoping it doesn't today. Like I didn't go like all in my cheek area with the powder though, so I don't know. We'll see. There might be a weird cut-off point. Oh, that's alright. Yeah, she's still showing up. That's fine. God, this highlighter is mental. Well, powder didn't affect anything too much there. Then I'm just going to pop a bit of this Ciate blush onto the apples of my cheeks. Okay, so moving on to brows, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Brow Wow Brow. I do like to tap off the excess just a tiny bit, but again, you get like barely anything. So, which is great. I hate when you've got like so much excess product on a brow gel. The shade's also like really good. It's like really similar to my eyebrow, like my natural eyebrow colour. And then I'm going to use the Max Factor Brow Shaper just to add a little bit more definition. So I'm going to put Strobe in my inner corner as well. On my lower lash line, I'm going in with the burnt orange matte shade again, and I'm just smoking that out under there. Then I'm putting the deep matte brown, smudging that closer to the lash line. Okay, and now I'm using more mascara for my bottom lashes. And now I'm throwing on the Kiko lipstick. Okay, so that's all the makeup on. I'm just going to clean up any mascara mess and sort my hair out, and I'll be back. Alright, so this is the finished look. I'm actually quite liking it. It's just very smoky, deep. I'd wear this out, you know. So I love literally all of these products. The brow products, the base products, the eyeshadow, the mascara, the lip product. All of this is just some of my favourite makeup products that are in my collection at the moment and will be staying there for a while. So yes, I am going to be doing my worst of my collection. That'll be my next video. But that's it for this video, so thank you for watching. I hope you like my makeup look, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.